So hey guys, this is Ishwar Samar Prasad from Factside YouTube channel, and today also we have started a new series titled The Border Disputes of India. So in this video we are going to discuss about border disputed territories of India. So without doing time waste, let's begin the episode. Border disputed territories of India. India is located latitudinally in the northern hemisphere and longitudinally in eastern hemisphere. India has the third largest international border in the world after China and Russia, and also most sensitive border of the world that varies from extreme climatic conditions to infiltration. India has a land border of 15,106.7 kilometers. The total length of the coastal line of the mainland, Lakshadweep Islands and Andaman and Nicobar Islands is 7,516.6 kilometers. India shares its border with 7 countries that are Afghanistan and Pakistan to the northwest, China, Bhutan and Nepal to the north, Myanmar to far east and Bangladesh to the east, Sri Lanka and Maldives to the southwest and the southeast. These 2 countries are the water borders of India. List of the India's neighbouring countries with the border length. Bangladesh. The bordering states of Bangladesh are West Bengal, Mizoram, Meghalaya, Tripura and Assam. The length of the border with the Bangladesh is 4,096.7 km. China. The bordering states of China are Ladakh Union Territory, formerly Jammu and Kashmir State, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh. The length of the border with China is 3,488 kilometers. Pakistan. The bordering states of Pakistan are Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab, Gujarat and Rajasthan. The length of the border with Pakistan is 3,323 km. Nepal. Bordering states of Nepal are Sikkim, West Bengal, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand. The length of the border with Nepal is 1,751 km. Myanmar. The bordering states of Myanmar are Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Mizoram and Nagaland. The length of the border with Myanmar is 1,643 kilometers. Bhutan. The bordering states of Bhutan are Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Sikkim and West Bengal. The length of the border with Bhutan is 699 kilometers. Afghanistan. The bordering states of Afghanistan are Jammu and Kashmir, POK part, and the length of the border is 106 kilometers. Marking the India-China border. Indian states and union territories sharing border with the China, Ladakh, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh. The border between India and China is not clearly demarcated throughout. Along certain stretches of its 3,488 km, there is no mutually agreed line of actual control (LAC). India, following independence, believed it had inherited firm boundaries from British, but this was contrary to China's view. China felt the British had left behind a disputed legacy on the boundary between the 2 newly formed republics. The India-China border is divided into 3 sectors: Western sector, Middle sector and Eastern sector. Western sector. In the Western sector, India shares about 2,152 km long border with China. It is between Union Territory of Ladakh and Xinjiang province of China. In this sector, there is territorial dispute over Aksai Chin. Both countries went to war in 1962 over disputed territory of Aksai Chin. The boundary dispute in the western sector pertains to Johnson Line proposed by the British in 1860s that extended up to Kunlun Mountains and put Aksai Chin in the princely state of Jammu and Kashmir. Middle sector. In this sector, India shares about 625 km long boundary with China, which runs along the watershed from the Ladakh to Nepal. The states of Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand touch this border with Tibet, which is in China. In this sector, in the middle sector, the dispute is minor one. It is the only sector where India and China have exchanged maps on which they broadly agreed. eastern sector. In this area shares 1,140 km long boundary with China. It runs from the eastern limit of Bhutan to point near the Talu Pass at the junction of Tibet, India and Myanmar. This boundary line is called McMahon Line. The disputed boundary in the eastern sector of the India-China border is over McMahon Line. Tensions between India and China are not new. The two countries, which share the world's longest unmarked boundary, fought a full-fledged war in 1962 and have since engaged in several small skirmishes. Nearly 6 decades have passed since then, but still the border issue remains unresolved. It has turned into one of the most protracted border disputes in the world. Dispute over Aksai Chin. Nearly Chinese media has accused India of building defense facilities in the Galwan Valley region of the contested Aksai Chin area. China controls Aksai Chin while Indians claims that it is part of Indian territory in the Union Territory of Ladakh. Chinese media claims that actions by Indian side have seriously violated China and India's agreement on the border issues. It also claimed that India has violated China's territorial sovereignty and harmed military relations between the two countries. During the time of British rule, two borders between India and China were proposed by Johnson's Line and Macdonald Line. William Johnson, a civil servant with the Survey of India, proposed the Johnson Line in 1865, which put Aksai Chin in the Kashmir. It was the time of the Dungan Revolt when China did not control most of the Xinjiang. So this line was never presented to the Chinese. The Macdonald Line in 1899, Britain proposed revised boundary initially suggested by Macartney. This boundary placed Lingzi Tang Plains, which are south of the Laksang Range in India, and Aksai Chin proper, which is north of the Laksang Range in China. Upon independence in 1947, the Government of India used the John Line as the basis of official boundary in the west, which included the Aksai Chin. On July 1, 1954, Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru wrote a memo directing that the maps of India be revised to show definite boundaries on all frontiers. Up to this point in the boundary, Aksai Chin sector based on the Johnson Line had been described as undemarcated. India's position was that the Aksai Chin was a part of Ladakh region of India for centuries and that this northern border was a firm and definite one which was not open to discussion with anybody. The 1962 India-China War. During the 1950s, the People's Republic of China built a 1,200 km, which is 750 miles road connecting Xinjiang and Western Tibet, of which 179 km, which means 112 miles, ran south of the Johnson Line through Aksai Chin region claimed by India. Construction started in 1951 and the road was completed in 1957. The Indians did not learn of existence of the road until 1957. Construction of this highway was one of the triggers for the Sino-Indian War of 1962. The Johnson's Line, proposed in 1865, shows Aksai Chin in Jammu and Kashmir now, which is Ladakh, that is under India's control, whereas Macdonald Line, proposed in 1893, places it under the control of China. India considers Johnson Line as a correct, rightful national border with China, while on the other hand, China considers the Macdonald Line as the correct border with India. At present, line of actual control (LAC) is a line separating Indian areas of Ladakh from Aksai Chin. It is concurrent with the Chinese Aksai Chin claim line. The border disputes of India with Pakistan. Indian states and union territories sharing border with Pakistan. Union territory of Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab, Gujarat and Rajasthan. Jammu and Kashmir, Pakistan occupied Kashmir, Gilgit-Baltistan. Pakistan is in the illegal and forcible occupation of approximately 78,000 square kilometers of Indian territory in Jammu and Kashmir. In addition, under the so-called Sino-Pakistan Boundary Agreement of 1963, Pakistan illegally ceded 3,180 square kilometers in Pakistan occupied Kashmir to China. What is the root of fight between India and Pakistan? In 1947, Pakistan's Pashtun tribals attacked Jammu and Kashmir. So to tackle this critical situation, the ruler of that time, Maharaja Hari Singh of Jammu and Kashmir, sought military assistance from the Indian government, and then Indian Governor General Mountbatten signed an agreement on 26 October 1947, signed in with three subjects: defense, foreign affairs and communications were handed over to India. Except for these subjects, Jammu and Kashmir were free of all its decisions. On the basis of accession of the treaty, the government of India claims that India has the full right to interfere in the matters related to Jammu and Kashmir. Pakistan, on the other hand, doesn't agree with India. What is the claim of Pakistan? Pakistan's claim on Kashmir is based on the Declaration of 1993. As per this declaration, Jammu and Kashmir were among those 5 states in the rule of the government of Pakistan was supposed to be established, but India never accepted this claim of Pakistan. Siachen Glacier. The Siachen Glacier is located in the eastern Karakorams in the Himalayas, just east to the actual ground position line between India and Pakistan. The entire Siachen Glacier, with all major passes, is currently under the administration of India since 1984. It is the second longest glacier in the world's non-polar areas. The Siachen Glacier lies immediately south of the Great Drainage Divide that separates the Eurasian plate from the Indian subcontinent in the extensively glaciated portion of Karakoram, sometimes called Third Pole. Operation Meghdut. It was launched on 13th April 1984. This military operation was first assault launched in the highest battlefield in the world. The military action resulted in the Indian troops gaining control of entire Siachen Glacier. The Siachen Glacier is the world's highest battlefield. Saltoro Ridge. The Saltoro mountain range is sub-range of the Karakoram heights of Saltoro Ridge. They are located in the heart of Karakoram on the southwest side of the Siachen Glacier. They are claimed as part of Jammu and Kashmir Union Territory by India, as part of Gilgit-Baltistan by Pakistan. In 1984, India assumed military control of main peaks and passes of the range, with Pakistani forces into the glacial valleys just to the west. Sir Creek. It is a 96-kilometer long strip of water disputed between India and Pakistan in run of Kutch martial lands. Originally named Banganga, Sir Creek is named after a British representative. The dispute lies in the interpretation of maritime boundary line between Kutch and Sindh. Before India's independence, the provincial region was a part of Bombay Presidency of British India. But after India's independence in 1947, Sindh became a part of Pakistan while Kutch remained as a part of India. Border disputes of India with Nepal. Kala Pani is the valley that is administered by India as a part of Pithogarh district of Uttarakhand. It is situated on the Kailash Mansarovar route. The latest political map of India reiterated the Indian claims on the region that Nepal says belongs to westernmost part of Nepal. India claims the historic region as part of Uttarakhand. The Kala River in the Kala Pani region demarcates the border between India and Nepal. The Treaty of Sugauli, signed by the Kingdom of Nepal and British India after Anglo-Nepalese War in 1816, located the Kali River as Nepal's western boundary with India. The disparity in the location with the resource of the river led to the boundary disputes between India and Nepal, with each other producing maps supporting their own claims. Susta. Susta area is one of the most disputed territories between India, which is Uttar Pradesh, and Nepal. Susta is located on the bank of the Gandak River, called Narayani River in Nepal. The change of course by the Gandak River is the main reason for the dispute in the Susta area. The border disputes of India with Sri Lanka. India and Sri Lanka have a maritime boundary, a 30-kilometer wide shallow sea. The Palk Strait lies between the country. Though by large piece where the Indo-Sri Lanka border issue is concerned, there were tensions over the question who owned the Kachativu island in Palk Strait. It was given by India to Sri Lanka in 1974. The border dispute of India with Bangladesh. The Indian states bordering with the Bangladesh are West Bengal, Mizoram, Meghalaya, Tripura and Assam. There were some boundary disputes between India and Bangladesh that were resolved by the implementation of historic land boundary agreement. During the visit of Indian Prime Minister to Bangladesh in June 2015, the land boundary agreement between India and Bangladesh of 1974 and its protocol of 2011 were ratified. The implementation of the agreement and protocol has settled all the outstanding land boundary issues between India and Bangladesh. The border disputes of India with Myanmar. The Indian states sharing border with the Myanmar, Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Mizoram and Nagaland. There is no border dispute between India and Myanmar. However, certain sectors of India and Myanmar boundary remain to demarcated. Border disputes of India with Bhutan. The Indian states sharing border with Bhutan, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Sikkim and West Bengal. There is no border dispute between India and Bhutan. All the neighbouring countries have a single demarcated area or a dispute, but there is no single issue of Bhutan which troubles India.